decisions as if they're little bitch-made women. Are giving your brain a false reality, and not to mention they're full of chemicals. Leads to cancer, which leads to brain fog, which leads to all these different things that do absolutely nothing for you. Today, I want to talk about what it looks like to be an actual masculine man and how to take realistic steps to become more masculine. A lot of you guys are out there, you don't go to the gym, you don't know what you're eating, you don't know what's in your food, you're not intaking any information, you're working a nobody-ass job, you're not thinking the right thoughts, you're jerking off, all these things. So I kind of want to give a breakdown of what it really looks like to actually live a masculine life and actually be able to have purpose. So, number one, you need to get in the gym. Anybody that'll ever talk to you about masculinity, they'll say you have to work out. But it's not just because you're going to the gym, train your muscles to get bigger. None of that matters at all. The part that really matters is that you're doing something every day that is heavily disciplined. So going to the gym, like going and lifting heavy weights, we are doing something hard. Like, you are tearing your muscles when you do this. It doesn't matter if you're huge or if you're small. The fact is, you need to go do something that causes you pain to give discipline. When you're saying in your mind, I'm going to go do something, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to go work out, you fulfill that request and can show yourself that you can push through pain and get shit done. That is what being a real man is. It's about sticking to your word, doing what needs to get done. You don't make excuses. Saying that you're too small or you're too fat and that's why you don't want to go to the gym, that's a bullshit excuse that you're making up, and you're already being unmasculine by doing that. So just by pushing through what you don't want to do, going to the gym, setting aside time, you're waking up early, you're doing hard stuff, definitely you need to get in the gym, not just to get fit, but to get disciplined. Number two, don't coom. Semen retention. You've probably heard of this at least once or twice, or somebody has mentioned it to you in the past. But if you're a man and you're not practicing semen retention, you are not reaching your full potential. Now, you can do your own studies on what semen retention does for the male body and how much advantage you have by actually retaining your actual semen. But to break it down to a simplistic measure, by retaining your semen, you become better. You become better, you become more focused, you become more driven, you're able to think a lot clearly. You can go to the gym, you can lift harder, you get bigger, faster. All these things, it's meant to make you a more sought after mate. Women need a man that they can trust, a strong man, attractive man, head of the crowd. And if you tell your body that you're ejecting your semen, that automatically tells your body that you've already made it, and that basically you're already with your mate. You've already reached the goal. You don't need to do that anymore. You don't need to become better anymore. But when you retain your semen, you're reaffirming to yourself you need to get better. It's literally a life hack. You need to become smarter. You need to become faster. You need to become more attractive. You need to become more witty. You need to think more clearly. All these different things all come into play when you practice semen retention. And you'll notice a large shift. If you have depression, anxiety, you'll find a lot more purpose. Even if you go 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months, every time frame, you'll notice. If you go a certain amount of time without cooming, you will notice a huge difference. Thing number three, you need to start eating better. The most important thing about being alive is your mental clarity. A lot of things nowadays steer us off the path of having mental clarity, and men especially start making decisions as if they're little bitch-made women. Nobody should be going to get ice cream because they want to. That doesn't even make sense. That is a dopamine craving part of your brain that's addicted to feeling cushy and warm. That is not what a man is. That is counterintuitive to your masculinity. By focusing on what you're eating, that means, first of all, cutting out sugar at all costs. The only sweetness you should be getting throughout the day is for brushing your teeth. And even that, you shouldn't be using any toothpaste that has fluoride or any of that bullshit in it. By eating healthy, the one thing that it does is you're getting rid of a lot of the toxins that are in normal food. Now, if you go to any grocery store or any restaurant, all these companies are in the business of making money. You as a consumer need to understand people are not doing things for your best interest. They do not care about you. You are a dollar sign to them. And these companies, they fill a lot of these foods with different chemicals that keep you coming back to buy the foods. Like, you need to understand that. Don't play stupid and think that everybody's on your team. Nobody cares about you. So when you're at the store, you need to keep this in mind. There's probably a couple foods that you're addicted to or you feel like you need to eat all the time, whether that's Doritos, ice cream, you have a sweet tooth, you like frozen pizza, you go out once a week to Five Guys or McDonald's, you have a drink every once in a while, you smoke, you vape. Any of these things, those are all addictions that are literally created by the food companies, FDA. If you focus a little bit more on the actual food that you're buying, you can eliminate a lot of brain fog and basically get rid of all these addictions to where you're actually feeling healthy and you're not destroying your brain and giving in to all of these companies. Next time you go to the store, you should always be looking on the back of whatever you're eating and making sure that you actually know what you're ingesting. Half of the foods that you'll see in the grocery store have a lot of different chemicals that you probably can't even pronounce, and a lot of them say artificial or natural flavors. Stay away from any flavorings. They're making things taste better than they actually are, giving your brain a false reality, and not to mention they're full of chemicals, and it is literally causing inflammation in your body, which leads to cancer, which leads to brain fog, which leads to all these different things that do absolutely nothing for you except for give you short-term gratification because it tastes a little better. Trust me, if you stick to a strict diet, you're eating whole wheat bread, raw milk, pasture-raised chickens, grass-fed beef, fruits and vegetables, organic, no pesticides, you're washing your fruits, you're not eating these chips, you're not eating Doritos, any of this other bullshit, you're not drinking chocolate milk, you're not drinking soda, you'll notice how good you start to feel. And this all plays into every little thing. You go to the gym, you practice semen retention, you focus on what you're eating, what your food intake is, you're gonna start feeling like a freaking superhuman. And it's not because you crack some sort of code, it's that you're living the way that you should have lived when you were born. You know, a couple takeaways for food. Don't eat processed food. Whatever you can get that's organic, it's completely worth it. And don't drink any soda, only drink water, no alcohol, no nicotine, no tobacco. You're eating lots of meat, red meat. We'll go into more of the food stuff later in another video, but just focus on what you're eating and make sure you're eating properly. Thing number 4, meditate. Pray, come to the present moment, whatever you do to be able to do that. This is all about managing your emotions. Now, as a man, men have a lot of struggles that they go with throughout the day. We can feel sad, we can feel upset, we can feel betrayed, we can feel strong, we can feel weak, but we have these emotions, and a lot of men bury that shit down inside of them and they don't deal with their feelings, they don't deal with their emotions thinking that they're a man, but truly that's not true. You know, it is less manly to bottle that shit up and then explode and not be able to control your emotions. A real man practices meditation. You want to be a warrior in a garden, not a gardener in a war, is what they say. Stoicism talks a lot about this. If you don't know the Stoics, look into the Stoics. But you don't want to let depression or anxiety run your life. Depression is the fear of the past or regret of the past, and anxiety is the fear of the future. Whereas the present moment is exactly where we are, which is just making decisions. You're in the here and now. This is where you'll be in the present moment now until the day that you die. You've never been in the past, you've never been in the future. You're only in the present moment. Since the day you were born, you've been exactly here in this particular moment, and you'll be in this exact moment until you're dead. You don't bottle shit up, you don't push shit down, you meditate on it, you don't let stuff bother you, and everybody does this a little bit differently. All this dealing with these emotions comes a lot easier when you do everything else I said before. You're going to the gym, you're being disciplined, you're practicing semen retention, you're eating all the proper foods, and you're not, eating the junk food. That makes this step a lot easier for you to actually mentally process what's going on. You can work through your own issues, but really what you want to be able to do is control your emotions, and you want to know yourself. There's a lot of people out there, I feel like sometimes I know other people better than they actually know themselves. You want to be somebody who knows yourself better than anyone else. You want to be the person that you feel confident. You're not gonna just flip on a switch and go crazy, and if somebody looks at you the wrong way, you just start swinging, thinking that's manly. That's not manly. That just shows that you're insecure about something and somebody just pushed your button, and now you're just so vulnerable to literally anybody doing that. Practice meditation, practice being here in the present moment. Don't let anxiety or depression control your life, and make sure that you can control your emotions to where you know that you're in full control. That's pretty much it. I do have a long list of other tips, and I can go very deep into each one of these topics, but I wanted to give top 4 things to become more masculine and just elevate your day. If you practice any of these things, leave it in the comments below. And if you have never heard of anything that I just said, or you don't even know where to get started, you can always check the link in my bio. I have a Discord that you can join to level up your game and actually become a more masculine man and start being around people that practice this daily. Alright guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you go out and implement these things that I just said if you're not already. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now. Leave this video a like, show some love in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.